Greetings, everybody. It's Marty the JavaScript Party and my buddy Rhett. It is Monday morning. Monday. I got a almond. Boom. There you go. And we are it is November 17th. So we are like basically a week from what we call the holiday season here in the United States of America, at least in my sort of subgroup. For some reason, my Husky and German Shepherd are very excited this morning, and they are playing over there. I'm gonna have to yell at them if they don't settle down. But yeah, this week that we're in right now is probably going to be the last very productive week of the year here in the U.S. Then what happens is like all of the colleges go off, all the schools go off for winter break. Hey, shush! All the schools go off for winter break. So then that means parents have to watch kids at school. There's more stuff going on. We'll start to have holiday seasons, parties coming up. So people are preparing for parties. Organizations start to figure out like what they're going to give out for holiday bonuses, that kind of thing. And basically, this is like if you really want to get something done and you're in an organization, if it's not rolling fast at this point in time, you're probably going to have a tough time um, getting it through before the end of the year. Um, Historically, it's as a technical person, it's always been very difficult to find a job this time of year. Um, if a company kind of lets you go right now, which they have a lot of people go in the United States. Apparently, I don't know anyone who was actually let go, but apparently, according to the news that is provided to me, a lot of people have been let go. So, yeah, that's tough. This is a tough time of year. I've definitely been unemployed a few times where I was let go right at the beginning of the holiday season. I've always said there's in IT, especially like if you're in an organization where they have a lot of contractors, I've always said there's like a person who plays the role of the Christmas goose. Um, it's someone who they kind of fire right as Christmas up starts to approach so that they can make an example of them for all the rest of the contractors. And that's just sort of a thing that I've seen, and I have been the Christmas goose a few times. They usually like to let someone that's like sort of a peak performer, someone who like everyone thinks, oh, the company would be screwed without them, and then they kind of fire them, and then sometimes like I have worked at places where they let me go right at Christmas time, and then like 3 months later, they were shutting the whole project down because I was doing a big chunk of the work and getting things done. Um, Unfortunately, organizations generally many times make decisions that aren't in their best interest. So, anyways, this is my first Cypress using end to end and being very serious about having end to end in Cypress and all that in a project, and it has been great. It has definitely found like I've created features, worked really hard to get features working, and not only to when I was working on a different feature to break it, and then not be aware of the breakage until like months or maybe even years later. I realized, oh crap, that didn't that used to work? Didn't I used to have that? And I have all this code that is kind of broken. And if the end-to-end tests seem to be surfacing that very quickly and effectively. But and I have found this in places. The whole point to end-to-end tests is that you don't that features work, not that the end-to-end tests work. So I have a end-to-end test that's broken right now, um, and it's for delete, and it's just one of these things where like when something gets deleted, the end-to-end test expects the second one to be like I create four objects, I remove the second one, so then expects there to be a gap where the second one was, and that the third one, which is now the second one, is um, shifted over by one. But it doesn't. It's not. It's failing. The test is failing, and the reason the test is failing is because Um, it's when it goes to get the second one, it's actually looking at the third one, right? So like it's expecting this second one to be sitting, this guy to be sitting, it's expecting the second one, which when we're looking at this visually as the user, this is the second one. But programmatically, at some point, something happened that makes this the second one. So the first one is here, a gap where the second one used to be. Now the fourth one is here, and the third one is here. That means nothing to the user, right? The end user could not care less about that. Could it be indicative of a lower level problem? Yes, and definitely a cursory glance of that, determining if you think it's something, and if you think it's something that we could figure out at this point. But but really, this does not affect the end user. So this end-to-end test, while it has found something that was unexpected, this wasn't broken. So I've been trying to think of like the best way to fix it, and I think the best way to fix it would be to do a sort on these based on what I'm looking for, and then make sure that once it's sorted, I'm hoping that that's a good way to work it out. So let's just go to Cypress and 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 I did want to mention, just the obvious that this is a ridiculous commit. There's 99 files changed. And I'm guessing that's going to become 100 after this Cypress change. Um, so this is not like this is not an outcome I wanted. I changed the way I do my coding process, and it was the idea was like I don't want to do a commit until I've gotten whatever I want working, whether it's bug fix or feature. Then I have the unit tests working, and then I have the end-to-end tests working. And what that's led is to a real problem because as I've been working through tests, it's been exposing things that need to be fixed, and I don't want to do a commit till I have the Cypress test done, and because I want like sort of all my commits to be complete. That's a great ideal to go for, but it's led us to this place that I just don't like, and um, so I'm going to try another thing around after this one, and what I'm going to try is make all my changes that I want. Once I feel like it's done, commit, then write unit tests. Now, at that point, the unit test may find something broken, and I'll probably at that point go back to the regular code, fix whatever is broken, get the unit test passed in, and depending on whatever the situation is, either do a commit and then continue with the unit testing, or do a commit with the fixes and the unit test together, probably separate. And then once that's done, go to Cypress and try to get that. And if that causes more changes, go back, you just kind of go back through. And then I'll know when I do a Cypress commit that this is a good commit, that is a commit that I think would be a good idea to roll back to if I need to roll back out of some changes. Like if I make some changes that are just so misinformed and misguided that we actually need to just nuke it all and go back to where we were, those Cypress ones are the ones that I want to go back to. Anyways, we'll see how that works out. I don't know. You can never guess exactly how things are going to turn out, but that's how I want to try it out. But now let's go into our Cypress, and let's go to our. Uh, oh, and I did notice that uh, when a test fails, that's when you get these screenshots. So that's pretty nice. I believe it's an e2e AI, and it's the 7. So I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to close the others. Now with Cypress, it gives you a line number that it says it failed at, but that line number I think must not include like comments and stuff. So we don't know exactly what this is, but we know that there was an assert there that thinks it was at line 34 and expected left to have the value of 400 px. So I guess it makes sense. Okay, so here we go. Oh, it looks like it might have been on this. Now I don't remember in Cypress how. So like if this was Jasmine, we could just say FIT. but I don't think that's how you do it in Cypress. Um, I think it might be an X. Let's try X. Let's see. Like for exclusive? Oh, wrong one. Wrong again. Wrong. Let's see. Okay, so I think this is saying that it is only running one test, and then it failed there, and then it was done. All right. So, and to me, it looks like so now we're focused exclusively on this one test, and it looks like this is our problem, and it's expecting equal this to do that. So I'm wondering if I can sort. So I have this code, and it's like getting this, but I would love for this to be out of a, see, like what I could do just to get this to fix. I guess we should do this. This isn't the solution, but like this is just make sure that I'm actually doing what I think. That what's going wrong is what I think is going wrong. It does not look like I'm right there. Okay, so is expected equal 1. I don't think that changed. Doesn't look like it changed. Maybe because this is what I try to change, right? This guy right here. So I'm just going to comment both of these out. See, it's still getting this one. It doesn't seem like it's changing the test because it still did this. And if I hit reload, so something's not working as I expected. Don't really understand what's going on. Okay, so let's change this back. I normally don't worry about that stuff, but I have so many freaking changes now. Um, okay, so let's just check, see if we can get this down to, maybe the XIT wasn't right. Oh, I bet you X is skipping it, not. I think what's happening is, okay, I think it's that's how you skip it, not focus on it. Now let's see if that. And I can't even tell you how many times I have. I don't know what's happening now. Oh, do I have both with X now? Oh yeah. Okay. So now we know that. Okay. So we can skip. We can skip by doing XIT. I do not know what's going on here. This is okay. Okay. So yeah. So we proved it that telling this to look for the second one should be, but really like, and then this should break it. So let's just make sure that's the case. It's always good to check your reality. Make sure that you are actually being real. It's kind of weird. I don't think any of them are there. Let's reload. Okay. All right. So I feel like maybe there's a way that I could get these app vises and then sort them. Um, or hmm. But I do think this is a failure on the test, not on the code. The code is doing what I want the code to do. I didn't really care. I don't care if the actual order is right. Maybe I will care in the future, but right now I do not care. Um, all right, so let's just ask Cypress about this. What time is it? 8:47. I have 8 minutes. Okay, so I have this Cypress code, but um, I don't really care. Um, if the about the index. I just want to make sure that there is one at 0 and another at 200px and a third at 400px. Is currently failing because the app viz at EQ1 is not at 200, but it is at 400. The one at EQ2 is not at 400, it's at 200. But I don't really care about that. I consider this a false fail. Um, order independent by collecting all of the values, asserting the value matches what you expect, regardless of which element. Okay, so that's what. So I don't know why this. I would like to avoid this then, if at all possible. Um, should. Okay, so this is saying like look across all of them and just see if there's one. Okay, so I wonder if there's a way to add an or a way to add an or type of thing. Is at 0px or at 200px or at 400px. Okay, so let's see. So it's wild that, oh, okay, each. Everyone must have its value and only be, okay, so that is cool. So basically it's saying, hey, create a a list a list of allowed lists and but I do actually want to make sure there's one for each. At least one has each value. Only match. All right. Hmm. Okay, I wonder, is there a way to get the list of app viz objects and sort them? Okay, so felt like this might be the way to go. I always find this so strange. This is such a strange thing in. Oh, okay, so we're in here. See, I kind of like this. Okay, so then, and then we get our viz array. A viz array. Um, I wonder if there's a way to do that. Oh, you know what? I really like that one a lot. Okay, so what this one is, it gets the whole list and then it checks that it sorts them all by the left. It maps them into something. Okay, so it maps the whole array into an array of lefts. And then it sorts it and it checks to see that there's one at 0, that there was one at 200, and there's one at 400. I love that. I think that is the best one. So let's see if this works. Okay, so I'm going to leave that one. I don't want this one anymore. And I think what I want is this. I took some training at work. I don't really have time for training at work. Like I said, right now at work, we're sort of in our last, probably last, I don't know. I haven't been told this, like this is just my take on things. Um, but I think we're in our last sort of big push before like everything sort of just grinds to a slow, slow down for the holiday season. So, like we're trying to get some stuff done before that. But the I did take a little bit of training a couple weeks back, and they were talking about how there's like I think there's like a command or something at the top you can put in here, and then it will it'll fix all these little like it'll know that it's right now this is broken because it doesn't know what CY is because it thinks that this is a um not a, it thinks that this is a karma jasmine test, not a cypress test. Um, anyways, I do like that a lot. Guess it passed. I guess that's what that means. And then I think we want the exact same call. I don't know why. Okay, so if we do this, then one will break, right? Okay. And so, in a way, I feel like if you don't have a Cypress test for a feature, you don't have a feature. Like that's kind of the reality I've kind of fallen into because, like, there's just the human memory is incredibly fragile, and being a human myself, I would like to assure you I'm a human being, not an AI. Um, but being a human being myself, like I don't remember if resizing on update worked or not. Okay, so hopefully this fixed everything, and then I need to log off for work. Yes, it looks. Oh no. Oh no. So that did not work. Why didn't you work? I wonder what's going on. Okay, so what if I get rid of this? Well, is there like a problem with the? It's kind of weird too, because like one of the things I really like about. Okay, so that passed. I don't feel like it expected lefts to be 0, 2, and 4. Oh, oh, it's 0, 4, and 6. Okay, that is right. Oh, maybe the 6. Okay, so that other test wasn't even doing at all what I thought. And this is actually what I want, 0, 4, and 6. Maybe I don't even test. All right, so that's good. So I think the first test um, doesn't actually delete it. Yeah, see, it was done. Um, so this one actually deletes it with the reflow off so that there's a gap here. The first one, reflow is on, I think, so there's not a gap. Yeah, so it wasn't a gap. So so that is that, and I do have to go. I would love to just put like a little timer on that and have it wait for like a second so we could see it. I guess that we can also do X, so we can just see the end of this one. And so I don't know why. Okay, yeah, we click on this, and then they call this time travel in the training that I took. But for some reason, so that's what it looks. You can't quite see it, but that's what it looked like at the time. And see, there was one at 0, 2, and 4, but they had flopped. So it was 0, 4, and 2. Now that might be a problem. It might not. I don't think it is, but we'll definitely keep that in mind. All right, so let me do this. And I think tomorrow we will do a full commit of everything. And then I think we're ready to kind of roll back and work on um, edit some more or update for the CRUD. And that what we're going to do is go over here and resize the screen while we're in this mode. And we expect it to do that basically. But this is Cypress doing it, not us doing it. But I expect it to actually squeeze this down and up based on the width of that. That would be a really good next thing. Anyways, happy coding, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye.